Hi, good evening. I welcome you all to this webinar s- organized by CANSEF non-profit organization. I am Devin from EN3 Private Limited, Ontario, Canada. And today we will be talking about fraud, detection and prevention. The key takeaways of today's session would be what is fraud, definition, facts, factors leading to fraud, and common fraud schemes, and what we can do to prevent ourselves from getting into these schemes. So, what is fraud? Fraud is an intentional act or omission designed to deceive others and resulting in the victim suffering a loss and or the perpetrator achieving a gain. Simply saying, it would be someone making use of resources to fool you or your family members or your friends to achieve something out of your pocket. Let's look into some factors of fraud. In 2020, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre received over 100,000 fraud reports involving nearly 160 million in losses. Moreover, 67,000 of the reports were from Canadian consumers and businesses, which reported losses totaling more than $104 million. It is estimated that these numbers are just 5% of the victims who have filed reports with the CAFC. The top 10 reported fraud schemes are as follows: romance, investment, spear phishing, exhaustion, merchandise, service, victim vendor, price, bank investigator, job. I'll talk about a couple of these. Romance. The newest trend, the topic that has been revolving on social media is about the movie that uh, Tinder Swindler. It's about a guy who uses Tinder to match up with girls and like get close to them, show them extravagant lifestyle, and but in the end he says that there are people coming after him after his money, and he can't use any of his bank accounts because they are frozen or whatever the reason, and he asks for money from the people, the girls that he has matched up and who has become close to them, and the ladies, without thinking twice or whatever the reason, they send up money which they had with them, or some even got loans on their own name to send it to this guy. And after some time, he just goes to them and not talk and like just disappears off from their lives. And that money is used to show the lifestyle, that the fake lifestyle that is used to lure in more ladies to the same scheme. That is one example. And when we can talk about investment, if you have watched the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, it is how how people fool the people on the Wolf of Wall Street about the stock market. How people fool people to buy stocks by faking the information about the stocks that they're selling, saying that they have huge potential and the price of the stock pricing is going to be huge and all that, similar things like that, but which is all fake. It could be just a small startup with no potential, or just someone like a business who's doing it on the in the garage, but when they market it to the clients, the customers, they show it as if it's the next thing that's going to happen and break through the internet, through the tech world. And a similar thing, I would go with the pricing. You would get messages or calls saying that you have won this amount of money through this lottery or this scheme, and they would first ask you, they would say, but first, before you get access to the money, you should deposit some amount uh, to account or as gift cards or similar payment method. Then only it will be released to you. They might say that it is the tax money that you should pay to the government, and you should pay that before we release your amount. So these are some of the very common schemes that has been revolving around us, but it is not limited to these. I will share a few more of the list in the coming slides. Let's see what are the 4 fraud factors which one would be encouraged to commit a fraud. Pressure. It would be non-shareable financial pressure, family issues, gambling, alcohol and drugs, overwhelming desire for financial gain, pressure to meet institutional goals, dissatisfaction at work. Any of these could be a factor for someone to think that they could get better by fooling a person or an institution to gain any of these. One of the main gain that people look into by committing a fraud is financial gain. And the next factor is capability. Position or function within the organization, personal traits and abilities, confidence in one's ability to commit a fraud, ability to talk one's way out of trouble, and deals well with stress. These are some of the capabilities that someone would have in them, which will make them comfortable in thinking that they could commit a fraud and get away with it easily. We have rationalization. One would commit a fraud just thinking to themselves that this person deserves to be fooled, deserve to be, how would you say, justify themselves that it is okay to commit this fraud. And the common beliefs for these is like just borrowing money until they can pay back, or it could be simple as like everyone else is doing it, so why shouldn't I do it? And the last factor would be the opportunity. The only aspect the organization really controls is opportunity. If there are rules, regulations, and procedures that limit and restrict the play within the organization, it could be immensely hard for someone to commit a fraud within that said organization. Let's look at some common fraud schemes. Exhaustion. Exhaustion happens when someone unlawfully obtains money, property, or services from a person, entity, or institution through caution, inventory, and other assets. Examples would be DOS on business, explicit video, immigration fraud schemes, CRA, and ransomware. Then we have identity fraud. It is one of the major fraud schemes that's happening all around the world actually. It is when criminals use stolen personal information and it is used to commit another crime, which will, in the face of law, in face of the outside world, it would seem as if you are the one who's committing this crime. It could be accessing your computer email, access your bank accounts, open new bank accounts, transfer bank balances, get loans on your name and credentials, and buy goods and services. And all this will be hiding their real identity, and you will be the face of all these actions if it comes under identity fraud. Then comes personal information. A scammer pretending to be from a business, government agency, a bank or utility company urgently asks to verify your personal information. They may request information such as your name, your address, your date of birth, your account information, or your social insurance number, the SIN number. And once you provide this information, the scammer uses this for identity fraud, which I mentioned earlier. And then we have phishing, which is also a major fraud scheme which fools the untrained eye, I would say. It's usually when it happens is a scammer sends an email that appears to be from a recognizable institute or company, such as a bank or online subscription service such as Netflix, Amazon. It could seem as if you are getting an email from your own boss even. And the email may claim that you have to update your account, that your tax refund is ready, asking you to confirm for a refund, cash return refund, or it could be saying that that they are in a hurry and they want you to grab a couple of gift cards, maybe Amazon or Walmart or any of the big chain restaurant gift cards to send in for an emergency situation, and they want you to grab them for you and you will be reimbursed as soon as possible. You should be really careful with phishing, as there will be signs of the fraud if you look closely. It could seem like if you are getting the email from a registered account, but if you look closely into the email accounts, you would see that it is not the exact email address. It could be hiding under another name, or it could have small variations from the original email address. And then we can look into services. These are few of the services that fraud schemes do take place upon. Financial services, like I said, banks, or it could be loaners, and then we have telecommunication, insurance, tech support scams, immigration scams, and we have services such as air duct cleaning, help with government document, immigration website, phishing, that would come under phishing, low interest rate offers, pardon, resale, tech support. Most of these schemes, if it is a physical service that they're providing, such as air duct cleaning, or it could be like remodeling of your basement or remodeling of your house, those service providers will show you photos saying that, claiming that they have done these projects, and they could provide the similar service to you. It could seem reasonably priced, or it could seem like lower than the reasonable price that's in the market. And what would they would do is they would ask you for a upfront cash amount to get supplies for the reasons that they have, and either they will come start the project and leave it halfway out, or else they wouldn't come at all and they would simply just vanish and you wouldn't be able to contact them or whatsoever. So let's talk what to do if you are a victim of fraud. The first thing is collect your thoughts. You should remember as much as possible, write them down of everything that you have done, how you got caught, what information that you have shared, what amounts that you have given, and the dates, and how they contacted you. Every detail as much as possible. Collect your thoughts and put them on paper. Then, and you can collect all the documents, receipts, copies of emails, or text messages, everything. And then you should contact your financial institutes. Report the incident to the financial institute that transferred that money, if you have transferred money. If you are a victim of identity fraud, place flags on all of your accounts. Change all your passwords. Report the fraud to both credit bureaus. Here in Canada it is Equifax and TransUnion. Contact the police. Report the incident to your local police and get the file number for your future reference. If you find suspicious activity on your credit report, update your file with the police. And finally, report the incident. Contact the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre. We can Google it up, the number, or the phone number, which is 1-888-495-8501, or you can do the same through the website fraud reporting system. Depending on the type of fraud or how it occurred, you'll also want to report it to other organizations. Fraud that took place online through a website report, you could report the website to the admin through the report abuse or report an ad button, which is usually included in the website itself, or redirected mail if you suspect that someone had your mail redirected. Contact Canada Post. You should also notify your service provider, telephone, cell phone, electricity, water, gas, of the identity theft. Lost, stolen, or misused immigration documents you should contact Citizenship and Immigration Canada. If your immigration documents have been lost or stolen, your immigration documents, it should be reported to those relevant authorities. And if have lost or stolen passport, you should report it to Passport Canada and to your local police. And next, let's see how we can prevent fraud. The first thing is, don't be afraid to say no. Don't be intimidated by high pressure sales tactics. If a telemarketer tries to get you to buy something or to send some money right away, request the information in writing, hang up, or watch out for urgent pleas that play on your emotions. Do your research. Always verify that the organization you are dealing with is legitimate before you take any actions. Verify Canadian charities with the Canada Revenue Agency. Verify collection agencies with the appropriate provincial agency. Look online for contact information for the company that supposedly called you and call them to confirm back. Verify any calls with your credit card company by calling the phone number on the back of your credit card. If you have received a call or other contact from a family member in trouble, talk to other family members to confirm the situation. Watch out for the fake and deceptive ads or spoofed email. Always verify the company and its services are real before you contact them. Don't give out your personal information. Be aware of unsolicited calls when the caller asks you for personal information such as your name, your address, your birth date, your social insurance number, your credit card or banking information. If you didn't initiate the call, you don't know who you are calling with, who you're talking to. Beware of upfront fees. Like I said, most of the services, they would require upfront fees, saying that they should, for purchasing of raw material or whatever reason. Many scams request you to pay fees in advance of receiving goods, services, or a price. It is illegal for a company to ask you to pay a fee upfront before they give you a loan. There are no price fees or taxes in Canada. If you want it, it's free. Protect your computer. Watch out for urgent looking messages that pop up while you're browsing online. Don't click on them or call the number they provide. No legitimate company will call and claim your computer is infected with a virus. Some websites such as music, game, movie and adult sites may try to install viruses or malware without your knowledge. Watch out for emails with spelling and formatting errors, and be aware of clicking on any attachments or links that come in your email especially. They may contain viruses or spyware. Make sure you have antivirus software installed and keep your operating system up to date. Never give anyone remote access to your computer. If you are having problems with your system, bring it to a local technician. Be careful who you share your images with. Carefully consider who you are sharing explicit videos and photographs with. Don't perform any explicit act online. Disable your webcam or any other camera connected to the internet when you aren't using it. Hackers can get remote access and record you. Protect your online accounts. By taking the following steps, you can better protect your online accounts from fraud and data breaches. First thing is, create a strong password by using a minimum of 8 characters, including uppercase and lowercase letters, and at least one number and one special symbol. Creating unique passwords for every online account, including social network, email, financial, and other accounts. Using a combination of passphrases that are easy for you to remember but hard for others to guess. And always, if the option is there, enable multi-factor authentication. It has become very common for financial institutes, or even pretty much every online service provides you the capability of enabling multi-factor authentication, which will help you immensely to double guard your access to those websites or those services. Only log on into your accounts from trusted sources. Don't reveal personal information over social media ever. And please be careful when you are using public Wi-Fi, especially in train stations, bus stations, or maybe in malls. It could be set up as by someone with the intentions of stealing your information when you log into using your mobile phone. Even though you are using your mobile phone and it seems that you have connected to the Wi-Fi, all the data that you pass through from your phone to the internet will be saved on the PC or whatever the device the fraud committer is using to emit the Wi-Fi, and they will use it to either steal your identity or steal any of the information that you have been using to the internet for. With all this saying, I thank you for your participation in today's session, and keep in mind how you could keep yourself protected from all these growing fraud schemes all around the world. Thank you.